Hello again, and thanks for watching the Randy's Music website channel. Today we're looking at the Yamaha CLP-735. This happens to be in the rosewood finish. We also carry it in black. The 735 is one of the entry model that Yamaha markets, and it's a great option for those who are beginning pianists, also those who are aspiring to greater heights in their music study as they pursue their musical journey. So I think the best way to explain this is that with the 735, Yamaha kept the basics and left room for you to grow. So let me explain what that means. The 735 has a graded hammer action, and if you looked at some of the other videos, you'll know what that means. That means there are certain zones that Yamaha has divided the keyboard into, that the lower part of the keyboard will have a little heavier action, just like a regular acoustic piano will be, and as we get to the middle range, slightly less and then lighter on the top, because again, that's how an acoustic piano operates. Acoustic piano has heavier, denser felt and heavier hammers on the bass strings and lighter hammers on the treble strings. So it's a great smooth action. Synthetic ivory keytops and synthetic ebony sharps, which aren't quite so slippery. There's a little texture there, a little bit of porousness to absorb moisture. And I think the other thing that I think it's important to understand on an entry-level piano is sometimes people, when they're looking at smaller keyboards, they'll say, well, we'll just get an X stand and then we'll get one of those pedals with a cord, and or if we can't afford the X stand, we'll just put it on the dining room table and then we'll just put a chair up and then Susie can play on that. It's important to understand that with the clavinova, just to be clear, that all of the geometry on this instrument, the distance from the keyboard to the floor is regulation. The three pedals operate exactly like the three pedals on an acoustic piano would, and their distance from this dimension back is exactly like it would be on an acoustic piano. You also have, of course, a key cover, and the music rack is at the appropriate height for music, and there are some little clips here that help facilitate holding the book in place. So why is that important? Well, that means that when your child is making the transition between the piano that you have at home, let's say it's this clavinova, to the piano at the school where they play, or maybe the piano at the teacher's home where she takes her lessons, and maybe the piano at church, they're not making all these adjustments and compromises. They're playing an instrument that plays like a piano and feels like a piano, and that's really what we would hope that you'd want in your home. So having said that, obviously there are some other features that make the clavinova exciting. Obviously no tuning because there are no strings. You have headphone capability for silent practice. If mom works days and dad works nights, that way everybody's happy and no one's sleep is disturbed. And then of course, some of the extra features that we think are important for developing pianists. There's even a metronome. So as your child is studying, you don't have to have a metronome sitting on top of the piano. It's right in there. There are, of course, other features that you can experiment with. Let's say that your child is studying some of the more traditional kind of piano literature, and maybe they're interested in having a harpsichord sample or something to that effect. You can get all of those effects on the piano. Another thing I like to show is the electric piano options. You might have seen me demonstrate this on some of the others. So the beauty of this is if your child is playing a pop song, maybe something from the Disney library or just something else that they enjoy, it doesn't always have to sound like it's being played on an acoustic piano. So it generates a little more interest for them, and kind of just keeps them going, and that's what you're after. I would have to say that the number of people that have come into our store that where their kids have gone to Carnegie Hall and had great careers in music, it's a small percentage. So we need to be honest with what our customer base is and what our customers' hope is for their kids and for what their musical goals are. So a lot of great options. Again, good action. As far as the sound engine, the Yamaha CFX sample is in here. The Bosendorfer sample is in here. And 2 speakers, 1 on each side, pointing down, 60 total watts. Great option for the developing pianist. We hope that you'll come in and take a look at it, audition it, and look at the other great products that we have here in the gallery. Thanks again so much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.